I'm so excited that you're here in the three-step formula for becoming a brand photographer. I am obsessed with brand photography. I'm obsessed about sharing about brand photography, and you will see why in just a minute. Let's start from the very beginning of my journey. So 12 years ago, my husband and I were dating. We were actually engaged at the time. And for Valentine's Day, I walked into his room, and where his Xbox used to be, there was sitting my first DSLR camera. And as you can imagine, because I'm sure you've seen the costs of DSLR cameras and you've seen the costs of Xboxes, you know that this wasn't the best camera in the world, but it was everything that he could give me, and it was everything that I needed to start this dream. So I began just as everybody else begins their photography journey, pretty bad, thinking that I was a lot better than I was because my camera was finally nice, but I was pretty bad. So I started this journey of photography. I used all of my friends and roommates to learn just the very basics of how to shoot in manual and how to pose and how to work with light and adjust settings and all these different things. And slowly I began to get better and better. Just like everybody does who doesn't give up, I grew. I invested in education, I went to conferences, I went to workshops, I practiced, and I grew. And I became a full-time photographer with a stable income. I was shooting about 24 weddings a year. I was shooting families regularly throughout the year. I was shooting seniors occasionally, sometimes newborns. I was kind of doing a little bit of everything. Meanwhile, I was starting my family. So when I started my photography business, I didn't have any kids. But about a year and a half in, I had my first kid. And then 2 years after that, I had my second kid. And 3 years after that, I had my third. And things were growing and growing and growing, both in my family and in my business. At the time of having my second baby, I was just really overwhelmed. I was shooting so many weddings. I was gone on the weekends. I was gone all the time at nights for engagement pictures and bridal pictures and family pictures. And I was really limited to this schedule that didn't really accommodate my family. When you're a family photographer or a wedding photographer, likely you're going to have to shoot nights and weekends because that's when those kinds of events are with lighting. The photo shoots have to be at the end of the day or at the very beginning of the day, and obviously weddings are usually on the weekends. This was really hard because my kids were growing up, and it didn't matter a lot when they were babies because we were home all day, and it was kind of a nice break at the end of the night to go to a shoot, let my husband, do bedtime or do dinner or whatever it was at the different times of year. But it was getting harder and harder as my kids started enrolling into school and into sports, and I was now they were gone at school all day, and then they would come home, we would have a snack, and then mom would have to go off to work. Or I would miss their soccer games. Or I'd have to adjust a photo shoot around a dance recital because I scheduled the photo shoot way before the dance recital, and then all this just headache of just making sure that I could be the mom I wanted to be and be the business owner I wanted to be. And it was really exhausting. Brand photography kind of fell into my lap one day. This client on the right, she was a family client. She's been my family client for the last 8 years. I've only been in business for 12 years. So we're actually going in on our 9th year this year. And I had been taking their family pictures since their first baby was 3 months old. And this client decided that she wanted to start a business, a brand. And she had kind of this other brand that we were doing, but one day she's like, no, I'm just going to start over and I want to start this baby brand. And that brand was Meeby Baby. And there was a couple other family friends that started, starting their own brands or having like me come photograph their husbands' headshots in their offices or in their store or their storefront or some products that they sold or some MLM stuff. And slowly I kind of dipped my toes into this world of brand photography. I was Meeby Baby's first brand photographer. We were both learning. She was learning how to run a brand. I was learning how to be a brand photographer. And we have done a shoot every single week for the last 5 years since that business kind of exploded. And my brand photography business also exploded at the same time. So it's been really fun to watch my business explode on the side of her business also exploding. So brand photography really just kind of fell into my lap one day. I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll take pictures of your business. I take pictures of your family. I should also be the one taking pictures of your business. And I had really no idea what brand photography even was. After kind of learning what brand photography was and realizing that brands are everywhere and there was so much potential and it was so fulfilling and it was so fun and the hours were amazing and the income was amazing, I went all in And I completely retired from wedding photography in my 20s. I was like, nope, done. I'm having my third kid. I don't want to be gone nights and weekends anymore. I want to work when my kids are gone. I want to work from home. I want to work on my own schedule. I fell in love with this industry. I was shooting a lot of baby and kid brands because that's kind of where I got my start with Meeby Baby, and I loved it and I was really good at it. I'm really good with working with little kids and babies, and I had the props and the equipment and the setup for it because I was in that stage of babies and kids. But then as my kids started getting older, I started going into bigger kid stuff and adults and soaps and like water bottles and literally like anything you can imagine. I've photographed dog food, pest control, scissors, um, all sorts of hair and body products. I've photographed t-shirts and hats and shoes and bows and blankets and adult swaddles and baby swaddles, every single thing you can imagine, furniture, real estate. It's crazy. It's beyond crazy. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I just started. I didn't have a studio when I started. I didn't have a portfolio, and I had very little experience with brands. If that is you, that is okay. You can make this dream a reality without a studio, without a portfolio, with very little experience. That is what I'm here to teach you. So these pictures I wanted to include in this slide. These pictures, well, I guess the top right is in my studio, but I wanted to show you that I literally, a lot of times, even though I have a backdrop ruler from the ceiling and I have a backdrop stand in my back closet, a lot of the times I rip off the paper and just tape it to the wall. The bottom right picture is a studio that I rented. There are rental studios all over the place, and if there's not one by you, that's okay. The picture on the top left is a picture just in my friend's cute room. I'm sure that there's someone that lives by you that has really immaculate house that has amazing design and textures and all these things in their own home. That is from my friend's house. And then the picture below that is a picture at a local farm that we rented for the day. They were launching these swaddles that had farm prints on them. And so we chose a scene that matched that. You don't have to have a studio to be successful in brand photography. You can literally shoot out of your garage. You can shoot from your kitchen table. You can shoot in your own bedroom. You can shoot in your kids' rooms. You can rent a studio. You can shoot outside. You can only do like small products that require just a light box so that you can shoot literally anywhere. The possibilities are endless. I think so many people get hung up on the fact that they don't have this or that they see me 10 years down the road having, and they don't start. So here I am telling you, the first thing that you needed to become a brand photographer is just get started with whatever you have, with wherever you're at, because you're not going to grow if you don't start. So after starting, my business exploded. I quickly realized that I could have a successful 6-figure business without giving up my nights and weekends, and also without having hundreds of brands under my belt. Like, you actually don't need that many brands to be successful in brand photography because it's consistent. I'm shooting the same brands week after week, month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year. I don't need hundreds or thousands of clients to be successful. So the picture on the left is a picture of what a week looks like in our studio. This is how many boxes we're getting every single week. And then the picture on the right is my team. So after a couple of years of this explosive business, of being able to build a studio in my backyard, being able to hire another employee and then another and then another and another until we had a whole team of brand photographers. After all of this, I began to start teaching other photographers that I had taught in the wedding industry and in the photography industry on how to do this. My photography friends and photographers that have been following me were so curious about what I was doing. They're like, okay, can you teach a class? Can you teach a workshop? Like, we want to get in on this brand photography. We've seen you go from being a very successful wedding photographer and family photographer and totally shifting into this entirely different genre. You look happy, you look fulfilled, you look like you're doing well. What is going on? So I started teaching. I taught a little workshop literally March 2020 before the world shut down. And then I was invited to come speak at United, show at United at their conference in November of 2020 to do a course on becoming a brand photographer. And obviously, things started getting canceled and shut down. The conference was canceled. And I realized I needed to pivot and create an online course because brands needed pictures more than ever. This was 2020. Stores were shut down. Trade shows were shut down. People were no longer getting their hands on product. They were no longer seeing product in real life. The only thing they had was good photography. And so many people had like bad photography or know photography because they were so used to selling their stuff in the stores or in trade shows or, in person, that they didn't even realize how important brand photography was. So while I started teaching this online course and helping other photographers, our business was exploding. Their businesses were exploding because the shift in brand photography really took off at this time. And the magic that I saw in my business was the same for their businesses as well. So this was one girl, she joined the brand photography course right when I launched it, fall 2020. And she said, I shot my first brand 2 weeks after taking the course, and I've since worked with 60 plus brands. This was a year later. Doing what I love on my own time, in my own way, mostly from home, is a huge blessing. Kylie's course has changed a piece of my life. Here's another photographer. She joined earlier in this year, and she joined in December. And then in January, after she had already completed the course once or twice, I launched a pitch challenge, which is now included in the course. Everybody who's a part of the course gets to take it. And I do it live every so often in the Facebook group as well. So it's totally accessible to everybody still. But I did the first pitch challenge, and it was a live challenge. It was 14 days of kind of applying the information that they learned in the course. And she said, I booked a line of 60 plus products. They were someone I pitched on the very first day of the pitch challenge. So this was about a month after the pitch challenge. She had no bites in those first 14 days. And then a month later, she booked a 60 plus product line, and then 2 more from that pitch challenge a couple weeks after that. So it takes a little bit of time, sometimes a little bit of patience, but the things that I'm teaching you, they work if you do them consistently, and if you believe in them, and if you're confident in yourself, and if you build out that portfolio. So this is kind of an outlier situation. This isn't a regular norm that I get, but I also want to show you this because this is possible, and this is what I am doing, and this is what she is doing with the tools that I'm teaching you. So Grace reached out to me and she says, I'm dying. I may never shoot another family session again. And I said, welcome to this new world. And she said, I like this world. Low key, I got paid $11,000 today. What? And I died for her because that is huge. When I started working with Grace at the beginning of her journey, she was just doing family photography, and she's an amazing family photographer. She had this high goal of making $2,000 a month. And I helped her, she did one-on-one coaching and she did the course, and I helped her, okay, here are the things, you need to do to book this. And then we talked about kind of adding on brand photography as kind of supplemental because family photography isn't always consistent. And so she started kind of diving into brand photography. And with one brand, she's now making that $2,000 a month consistently. And then she also had this shoot where she got paid $8,000 for one shoot on top of her other income that she was billing out that day. So in one day, she billed out $8,000. This same exact brand is on a consistent $2,000 a month contract. So from one brand, she's hitting her goal. And that's what's so crazy about brand photography. She doesn't have 100 brands. She has one brand and then her family photography clients. She's not doing anything insane. Yes, she's working a lot of hours for that brand, but one brand is all it takes. It's insane. Next person, Jessica. I love this. We do a Wednesday win in the brand photography group every single Wednesday. I say, what are you working on? What's your win this week, big or small? And some people say, I got my laundry done, or I did this or did this. And this was Jessica a couple weeks ago. I found a toy in a gas station. I pitched the brand, and now I'll be doing their catalog photos 4 times a year. What? Guys, brands are literally everywhere. And people who think like this, like Jessica, who walk into a store or walk into the gas station and see something that they think, oh, I could photograph that, and they reach out and they do the work, they are going to succeed in this because that's all it takes, is seeing that brands are literally everywhere. I'm sitting at my desk right now. I see a candle, I see a crystal, I see a plant, I see a mouse pad, I see my mouse. And obviously I'm not going to be Apple's next photographer. I focus on small brands, but the candle, I could reach out to the candle. I can reach out to the crystal place. I could reach out to the books, like the authors that are on the desk, the books that are on my desk. I could reach out to the plant holder. Like literally everything is a brand. And if you start thinking like that, you're going to be so successful in this. Next, Kirsty, I love this. She sent me an email this week. I just wanted to share some success and exciting news with you. I just signed a contract for my first official paying client. I got a new camera and I love it, and I'm 80% done with my in-home studio. So Kirsty joined this course in January. I'm recording this in August. She joined and then she came to a content day and she took the course. She like dove in and building her portfolio with her own content day, with my content day, and she just kind of went for it. Then she had a baby. So she joined the course when she was like 35 weeks pregnant or something like that. And she packed as much as she could in, had her baby, kind of went on a maternity leave and came out of that and is now going to be able to supplement her. And she's a teacher. I think her goal is to be home with her kids. Her goal is to do this full time. I think she's still on maternity leave. So I'm hoping that she can hit that goal before she even has to go back to school. But she was able to take the course, create an in-home studio with whatever she had, get a camera, and book a paying client on maternity leave, like with a brand new baby. And it's so cool to see this success from her. So why do we love brand photography? There are so many reasons. So first of all, it's a more consistent income. So like I shared with Grace's story, she started, her goal was $2,000 a month in photography in general. But that's really hard with family photography, especially if you're in a seasonal area. So we're in Utah, both of us. She's in a different spot. We've never met in real life. But with Utah, we have spring and we have fall. Summer's really hot. And I mean, there's occasional family pictures in the summer, and winter's way too cold, way too snowy. So we have these small seasons where we have peak seasons where they're busier and we're doing more and we're making more, but then we have these slower seasons where we're not making a lot. So it's really hard to have a consistent income year round on a family photography schedule, on a wedding photography schedule, on a senior photography schedule. But with brand photography, brands need pictures weekly, monthly, daily. Like they need pictures all of the time. They're in content business. They need to be posting. They need to be having lots of different pictures on their website, in their catalogs, in their email drips, in their TikToks, on their reel covers. Like they need content all of the time. So they need us all of the time. And so it's a more consistent income. Number two, it's an uncapped earning potential because, like, again, with Grace, she was charging like, I don't know, $600, $700 for a family session. And then she was charging $8,000 for a brand session. With a family session, you have like 1 hour and you're not going to be like, okay, I'm going to charge you for 5 hours, you know, if we're here for 5 hours. Like you have 1 hour to do the family session and it's one price. But with a brand, you can do 1 hour, 2 hour, 5 hours, 8 hours, 2 weeks of brand photos every other week, every month. Like the earning potential is just so much better than family or wedding or anything like that. It's so much better. Number three is you get to pick your own schedule. So for me, I want to work when my kids are in school. I want to work in the mornings. I want to work when my energy's high. I want to work when the light's good in my studio. I want to work in the daytime. I don't want to work on the weekends. I don't want to work at nights. And right now I'm really only working in my studio 1 or 2 days a week and trying to pack it all in because I want more days on like for computer work and more days for just going to the gym or having like fun with my kids, whatever it is. I get to pick my schedule and it can change each season. So as school starts, I work more. In the summer, I work less, and I'm able to completely pick my schedule. With family photography or wedding photography, we have to work around dad's schedules. We have to work around wedding schedules. We have to work around lighting and, you know, sunset and golden hour. But with brand photography, you don't have to do that. Number four is it's so fun working with models. So I love working with models, and because I'm in like the baby kid industry mostly and sometimes adults, I get to just spoil my friends and their kids. I get to bring in my friends and their kids and give them free outfits and free pictures. They're stoked, I'm stoked, and the brand pays for it. I don't have to pay for it. Like it's exciting, and they're like so stoked to come to my studio every single time because it's a fun experience and it's fun working with them. There's not a lot of pressure like when you take a family picture and they're like, "Oh, they're not smiling very good," or "Oh, like I want to reshoot that cuz da da da." Like it's not about the model at all. It's like about the clothes, it's about the products, it's about the accessories. And so I just get to have fun working with models, working with kids, working with adults, working with all sorts of ages and spoiling them. It's amazing. Number five is I get to work in comfy clothes. This is big deal for me. I have tripped in high heels at a wedding. I have one time, this is an embarrassing moment, and I wasn't going to share this, but one time I was shooting a wedding. I was pregnant. I was nauseous. And I went to the bathroom and I dropped my skirt in the toilet. And I had to wear the mother of the bride's extra skirt. She was way bigger than me the rest of the day. I came out from the bathroom after finding the mom, getting in her skirt, whatever. I came out and everybody knew. Like, she had told everybody there. I don't have to work in skirts anymore. I don't have to work in dresses anymore. I don't have to work in high heels anymore. I don't have to trip backwards down a hill while I'm shooting group pictures because I'm wearing the wrong shoes. I don't even have to wear shoes. I can wear socks. I can wear yoga pants. I can wear comfy clothes. I can wear sweatshirts. I can wear beanies. I can wear whatever I want to wear. And I know that's silly to put that in as why we love it, but seriously, that's a huge, huge thing for me. Number 6 is it's consistent, repeated clients. So I'm not constantly having to track down clients or market to new families. Like, if I have a family session, most of the time they're going to book every year, or every other year, or every 3 years, right? There's occasionally that family that books like once every 10 years or comes once and then goes to a different photographer the next year, whatever. So there's just not a lot of consistency. There's year to year consistently, maybe every couple year consistency. But with brands, I'm literally shooting them once a week, once a month, once a quarter, or once a year. Like, they are coming back to me every time they have a new drop, every time they have new products, every time it's a new holiday, a new season. They are constantly coming back to me. So I don't have to have hundreds and hundreds of clients to be successful. I can have a handful of clients that are repeated every single month. We have clients that are repeating weekly, monthly, quarterly. Like, pretty much that's all we get is weekly, monthly, quarterly. Or there's some that every once in a while they'll come to us like once a year, but like, who needs content only once a year? Barely anyone. Most people need content for their business monthly. And so that's why it's such a great income source. Number 7 is it's business, not personal. If you need to change something, if you didn't, do something right, like maybe the color is off or the shirt is wrinkly or whatever, it's business. It's not personal. It's not like the bride being really uncomfortable because of her skin or because was really bad, or like her spray tan didn't look good, or she didn't lose enough weight for the wedding and then hates the pictures, but we know it's about her, but she makes it about you and your pictures, and it's this big thing. With business, it's just business. With brands, it's like, it's not personal. There's no hurt feelings. We just fix it. We take care of it. It's just easy. Number 8, literally everything is a brand. So like I shared with the gas station thing, literally everything around you is a brand. You can do this with any sort of brand and genre. And obviously I talk a lot about kids and babies because that's what I do. But in the brand group, we have people that are just specializing in soaps. We have people that are doing adult boutiques. That sounds weird, but like cute girl outfits like dresses and jeans and sweaters, stuff like that. We have people that just do products only, like water bottles. We have people that do like adventurous products, like they want to go out rock climbing with their products and they want to go out surfing with their products. They want to do stuff that's adventurous. We have people that just specialize in jewelry. Like, there are so many ways you can do this, and that's what's so cool is you don't have to stay in one box. And number 9, it is such a fun creative outlet. Like, you're able to use your brain in such new fun ways, and it just pushes you to the next level. It gives those endorphins of doing something fun and creative, and we seriously just love it. I have taught workshops and spoke on stages all over the US, but nothing compares to the community of brand photographers that we're building here on Facebook virtually. It's incredible how the industry has shifted over the last decade, especially because of COVID and how everything has turned into virtual communities. So back when I first started in education, I started speaking at conferences all over and workshops. I literally have hosted workshops in Hawaii, Alaska, Arizona, Oregon, Washington, California, literally everywhere. I've spoke on stages in Arizona, California, Utah. I have been able to have this in-person community, but even with all of that, those sleepovers and those getting to know each other in like the middle of the night, shooting at midnight in Alaska, or hotel rooms after a conference presentation, nothing compares to what I've seen in this virtual Facebook group. This community of brand photographers is like no one else, and I don't know why, but the people that this group attracts has been incredible. Literally, someone said on their Wednesday win this week, my Wednesday win is, I just want to comment that my win is this group. Honestly, the nicest, most helpful group of women. I feel like we are in this together, not against each other, which is so amazing. Somebody else who's newer to the group, I seriously love that. That's a great win, and I feel that too. It's not competitive at all, and everyone learns from each other, and I love it. And another comment from someone who's not as new, we love you too. I hope you get lots of clients soon. This is literally every single day in this Facebook group. It's absolutely incredible to see a group of women come together, all different genres, all different backgrounds, all different experiences, learning about brand photography. So how do you get started? How do you get started in becoming a brand photographer? Maybe you're not a photographer at all and you don't even have a camera. Or maybe you've been doing the burnout wedding and family photography path for a long time. Or maybe you still love that and you still want to do that, but you need to supplement and you need a little bit more of an income throughout the year. I can help you with whatever path you're on. I have people all the time that join me that are brand new to photography. I have people that join me all the time that just want to supplement their income. And I have people that want to completely replace their income with this full-time gig of brand photography. I have teachers. I have people that work a 9 to 5. I have all sorts of different people from different walks of life, mostly women, a few men, that are learning how to get started in brand photography. And I have a really simple formula that you can start for free right away. So this is my PPP formula. I'm sorry, I can't name anything. I'm not good with acronyms, but I wanted to keep it simple. The 3P formula. So the 3P formula is 1, pick a genre, 2, build your portfolio, and 3, pitch, and then repeat. So what does that mean? Let's dive into it a little bit, a little free training on how to get started in this industry. So first, you're going to pick your genre. You can literally shoot whatever you want to shoot. You can shoot small companies, small brands like what we shoot. You can do large scale projects where they're paying for the rights to use the photo on banners and on billboards and on all sorts of awesome things. You get to decide where you want to shoot. You can shoot in a studio in your house. You can shoot in your own studio that you build or that you buy. You can rent a studio. You can shoot outdoors. You can shoot out of your garage. You can shoot out of your kids' room. You can shoot out of your room. It doesn't matter. You can shoot wherever you want to shoot. You get to decide how much you want to shoot, how much you want to make. You get to decide everything in this industry. It's literally amazing. So start with a genre. Now, this is hard for people because people feel like I don't like to choose one thing. Like I want to be able to shoot a lot of different things. And you can, but you still need to start with one. And I explain more of this in the course, why this is important and whatever. But for just time's sake and just making this a quick training, pick one genre to start. And once you've mastered that one and you've built a portfolio and you've pitched in that genre and you're booking clients, you can restart and choose the next genre and add that to your portfolio. And then once you have, the genre, the portfolio, and the pitch, go to the next one and you can expand. We shoot everything. Even though we show a lot of baby and kids because that's our main niche, we shoot jewelry, we shoot boutiques, we shoot shoes, we shoot water bottles, we shoot kitchen stuff, we shoot, oh my gosh, everything. Pest control, dog food, laundry baskets, like literally everything you can think of, we've probably shot it. It's amazing how many genres there are in this world. Real estate, furniture, local brands, like in-person brands, personal brands, all sorts of crazy different genres. It's awesome. So pick one to start. And then once you've picked that genre to start, it's not indefinite. It's not the only genre you can ever shoot. It's just your first one. You're going to build your portfolio. So how are you going to do that? You're going to reach out to brands for collaborations. You're going to buy products that you love to shoot and you're going to play around with them and build that portfolio. What would that look like? What would shooting for that brand look like, feel like? All of that, just like act like you're a brand photographer and fake it till you make it. Literally, that's where I see the most success is someone who just becomes a brand photographer. They sign up for the course, they join the Facebook group, and they are a brand photographer. They're not waiting for a brand to hire them to become a brand photographer. They start shooting products right in front of them right away. They reach out for collabs, they buy products, they join collaborative Facebook groups, they scan Etsy. They make sure that they are photographing brands, how they need to be photographed for each genre. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch somebody not be a brand photographer and then sign up for the course and then become one. That is like your certificate. That is your badge. As soon as you click buy now, or as soon as you start learning about brand photography, even if you don't click buy now, even if you're just like, okay, I want to do this, this is your permission to start doing it. You're doing the thing. You are a brand photographer. The sooner you start acting like a brand photographer and introducing yourself as a brand photographer and shooting like a brand photographer, the sooner you will be successful as a brand photographer. Most brands don't even know that they need you, and they also don't know where to find you. It's a little bit different than like marketing for families or marketing for weddings when someone's Google searching like local wedding photographer or local family photographer. These brands aren't searching for you. They are just doing their thing. They're posting their content. They're maybe using crappy pictures. They're maybe doing it in-house. Maybe they are just doing with their iPhone. They're just doing the thing, and they're just trying to run all the different parts of their business. They don't know that their photography could improve. They don't know what your packages are. So that's why number 3 is we need to pitch. We need to reach out to these brands and tell them what they need and how we're going to be able to give that to them. So little disclaimer, pitching is the worst. It's the absolute worst. Everybody hates pitching. Okay. I hated pitching. Everybody in my course hates pitching. It's the worst, but I have created some things to make this easier for you in the course. Number 1 is I have pitch templates. I have templates that you can actually use and insert like your own wordage in there to make it more personalized, but I have templates to pitch, templates to follow up, and templates to get started with brands collaboratively, and paid shoots. I have templates. I also just created, in the last year, I added in the pitch challenge that I've kind of referenced a couple times in here. It's a 14-day pitch challenge where you apply everything that I teach you in the course about pitching and about building the portfolio and about the genre and all that. It's applying all that over 14 days. And a lot of people have found their first successes after they've taken the pitch challenge, because it really breaks it down and making sure you're doing the steps in the right order. So what is the most important thing about pitching? Number 1 is using your personality. Like, there's nothing worse than getting an email from like that spammy like email that's definitely copy and paste and like not personalized at all. Like, we want it to be a real email, not just a copy and paste template. Like, we want it to feel authentic, genuine, and connected. Number 2 is you need to pitch to what you have a portfolio in. And so that's why it's so important that you've picked that genre and you've built a portfolio in that genre. You also need to keep your pitches in that genre. Until you have a really massive portfolio, it's going to be really hard for you to pitch to these random brands that have nothing to do with what's in your portfolio. The more you're going to be more successful if you have a specific genre and a specific portfolio that matches when you start pitching. And lastly, just know that pitching isn't forever. I don't pitch anymore. I haven't pitched in years. I don't like pitching. Most people don't like pitching. But once you have a couple of brands under your belt, you can organically grow. You don't have to pitch forever. You can use marketing, SEO, Pinterest. You can word of mouth. And also the great thing about brand photography that I've already mentioned a few times is you don't need 1,000 brands. You don't need 100 brands. You could have 5 monthly brands and have a really great income coming in your way. So some of the brands that I pitched in the very beginning of my journey, years and years ago, like over 5 years ago, are still some of my monthly clients. So that's what I'm saying. You don't have to pitch forever. These brands are going to stick around. If you do a good job and if you master the flat lays and the product photos and the lifestyle and you get all the things that I'm going to show you, you're naturally just going to grow and grow and grow. Don't panic. When I started shooting brands, I was shooting my own children on an IKEA duvet cover on the floor in the room with the best light of my house. I didn't have a studio. I pitched every single day for 100 days, thousands of brands, and only a few of them stuck. When I was learning how to pitch and learning how to email, my mentor said like, oh, I've never not responded. I've always had yeses every single time I've pitched. And that was really discouraging for me because I pitched every single day and I didn't even hear back from anyone. But after doing this and forcing myself to do 10 brands a day for 100 days and seeing that, oh, every 10 days one comes in or every 20 days one comes in. And after 6 months, I had enough brands that I could start slowing down on weddings. And by 6 months after that, so a year later, I could be full-time in brands, so full-time that I ended up building this backyard studio just 1 year after starting my initial pitch. My portfolio grew, my SEO was growing because every time I did a brand shoot, I was blogging it and Pinterest and all the things that I teach you in my marketing courses. Word of mouth, like people found out about me and they were shipping me stuff from literally all over the world. We work with brands from New York to Washington, California, Texas, the United Kingdom, Germany. We've got brands in Canada. We've got brands in South Africa. We've got brands in Jerusalem. We literally have brands from all over the world. And this started on the bedroom floor on an IKEA duvet. On this left-hand picture, that is the bedroom floor. That's where it started. Now our brands are showing up on places like Target, Nordstrom, West Elm, Good Morning America, Shark Tank, and we're shooting these brands worldwide. This is just me, like a little mom in the middle of a small town in northern Utah with 3 kids, booking and shooting brands from all over the world that are now like famous in all of the places. If I can do this, you can do this. And I want to show you how to do this. I get to watch hundreds of other photographers build their dream business in their own way, not my way, in their own way. Some of these brands are shooting in their kitchen, in their garage. They don't have a studio. They only want to shoot outside. They only want to shoot products. They only want to shoot nights and weekends. They only want to shoot on Mondays. I don't care what your dream life looks like. It doesn't have to look like mine, but I can help you get there with the Becoming a Brand Photographer course. The people that are taking my course are getting results, and the results vary. Everybody's different. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's expectations are different. What the work that they put in is different. But what they're getting out of it is community, support, tons of information and tools to grow and become a brand photographer in whatever way they want to. One comment, wow, Kylie, I just finished the first section of the brand photography course and I am floored. It's so thorough, so informative. I'm fresh out of a workshop with another photographer about commercial photography, and I'm sad I didn't get to this first. I could have saved a whole lot of money. I'm sure I have questions, but I'm buzzing from how inspired and equipped I feel to start reaching out to brands and booking more shoots. Thank you. You're doing such an amazing service. I'm so excited to dive in further in the morning. Another photographer. Holy moly, Kylie, I'm blown away with how thorough and well thought out this is. This is amazing. I'm pumped up and feeling confident that I'm going to come out of this course with all the tools and knowledge I'll need to start to get my brand photography business growing. I teach everything you need to feel confident in this course. How to market, how to pitch, how to communicate with brands from the initial inquiry all the way to returning the shoot. I will teach you how to organize shoots with models, how to organize shoots with like questionnaires and styling, how to find your genre and develop your own style within brand photography. Because the crazy thing is you're shooting for a lot of different brands, a lot of different colors, so keeping that cohesive in your own style is very important. I'm going to show you behind the scenes of shooting product, how to take great product, lifestyle, and flat lay photos, how to work with models, how to add video to your packages for Reels. That's a new class I just added because I'm constantly adding new classes as new things update. When I launched this course, there was no such thing as Reels. And now Reels are all the rage. And these brands don't just want photos, they want videos. So I'm going to teach you how we're adding raw videos to our packages so that we can, first of all, charge more money, and second of all, hit all the needs of our brands. I'm going to give you email templates for pitching, collaborating, inquiries. I'm going to give you my commercial preset and editing tips, culling tips, checklists, cheat sheets, and so much more. So much more. Now you're going to probably ask me, they're loving the course, but are they booking? And I'm getting comments like this every single day. I have 9 different paid commercial shoot subscriptions that I have booked since the course. I'm super excited. I've really been pushing to try and get more brands this year since my little girl will start school later this year. I want to be able to be home more on the weekends. And today I was able to book 5 brands with subscription packages, and I'm talking to 4 more businesses about subscriptions. This course is amazing, by the way, Kylie. Watched it all in one day, did 2 shoots, and have another one scheduled. Make it 3 times in a month, and I'm booking slowly but consistently from my website organically. So thankful. I have 9 different paid commercial shoots. They just emailed and said they're ready to send me another package. Kylie, thank you so much for this course. This is a huge blessing for my family. Okay, I just went and rewatched the part of your course on pitching. I thought I had tried to write a personalized email with my past pitches lately, but after watching the course a second time and dissecting my own pitches all over again, I rewrote it and sent off a new pitch to a new potential client on Etsy. I heard back within minutes, and she's really interested in asking more questions. Crossing my fingers. Woohoo. If you sign up to becoming a brand photographer, you're not only going to have instant access to me and all the education that I offer, all of the courses, the templates, the presets, and the pitch challenge, but you're also going to have access to hundreds of cheerleaders rooting for your success. We're so excited to have you in the Becoming a Brand Photographer group. You can get started with the link below.